So all the drivers and everybody that follows along usually knows that this is the point in the video where I go grab my bouncer, the timer, and I start picking out some hills. But it's finals, guys. I gotta leave some surprises. What is going on, guys? It has been a while since we've been back down to the park. Our last two races have been at Mountain Mud Run, and I haven't really shot too many videos that have been down here. Obviously you've seen one of the last videos with Cockroach, but yeah, it's been a while since I've been down here, and we're down here to start race prep for race 6, aka finals. And then that same weekend, the Sunday after, we have our end of the year party. So everybody's just going to come here and hang out. On Sunday there's no racing. All the racing will be Saturday. So it's going to be one heck of a weekend to hang out with all the guys and have some fun before all the snow flies and kind of wrap up the season. But I'm down here to start race prep and start getting the park ready. As you see behind me, I already came down with a leaf blower, so you already know where it's going. We're going to cue some music and clean up this park a little bit, and then we'll get into cleaning up some of the hills. But we're going to take a quick look around, that way you get an idea of what I'm starting with. Alright, so I'm lazy and I didn't feel like setting the tripod up to walk up and down this a couple times just to get one shot. So I already cleaned up some of this. As you see, I only pushed it down to here, and then I turned the camera on because well, you guys can't see it, but the top part of Step Your Game Up is, I don't know, it's all sorts of washed out because we got a bunch of rain and it washed out a bunch of crap. It washed out all the dirt out of this hill, OG Street. It was a brand new hill if you go back on the channel, and if you've been following along, you'll know that I just rebuilt that hill not too long ago. So it's still pretty fresh, but there's not all that bad for leaves, but there's a lot of sticks. As you see, we had a lot of big storms, so there's a bunch of sticks and crap everywhere. So we're gonna go around and clean all that up, and then we'll tend to anything that we need to on the hills, which these ones look pretty good. I think it's just the ones up there because I didn't really do anything to those last time and they got all washed out from the rain. But yeah, we're gonna throw you on the tripod, assuming I can find it, and cue some music. Well, just like that, we got the park back. Sorry about the sun, not much I can do about it, but yeah, all cleaned up. Still got to go around and pick up all the little sticks and all that crap everywhere, but yeah, while I was leaf blowing, I noticed that there's not really all that much damage to the hills. I mean, this is expected. This is a brand new hill, so I kind of expected it to get washed out, especially with the heavy downpours that we had. But what I will say for the drivers watching, that I know you're probably going to expect to see what the courses are and everything, and well, guess what? This is finals. I'm going to leave it all a surprise, so I may tell you by the end of this video what hills we're running and maybe what short course I'm involving, but I'm not going to bring you through the hills. I'm not running the hills, at least not on camera. I want to leave it all a surprise, and yeah, that's how we're going to leave that. Alright, we're going to start over here with OG Street and Miner's Revenge, and we're just going to throw some fresh sand on them, dirt, whatever, and sweep it all down. Sorry about the sun, not much I can do about it. I'll try to move the camera around best I can, but well, you guys pretty much get the idea. I'm going to do the same thing to Water Hazard, and then we'll go do some actual hill building up at the top, because I'm not sure which hills I'm going to use for the courses yet. So I'm going to get all the hills ready. That way, when I come up with ideas, I'm not limited by hills and I can pick whatever I want. Well, I guess despite what I said, I'm going to do a little bit of maintenance on Chaos Alley because I took some dirt out of it, as you can see. And I'd like to make the jumps a little bigger. There was a bunch of water that came down it, which tells me my drainage ditch is overflowing, so I should probably go tend to that. But yeah, we're gonna do some quick maintenance to Chaos Alley and then move on to hopefully some actual hill building. Well, I did a little bit off camera, not really worth filming, but cleaned up the bottom a little bit. We got the hills mostly cleaned up. Like I said, threw some dirt on Water Hazard and raked out Chaos Alley a little bit. So now we're gonna get to the actual hill building. There's a couple things that I want to change before finals. One of them is going to be the short course, but we'll get to that. We're going to go up here because these ones are going to require the most work. And we just got overcast skies, so I may be continuing this video another day as I say that the sun starts to come out again. So up here, my drainage ditch goes that way, and when it rains a lot, it overflows and comes down these two hills, mainly Step Your Game Up, as you can see. Massive flood came down the hill, so I think we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to make it actually a little harder. You'll see once I start grabbing a shovel, but man, that sun is horrible. Oh, there we go. Oh, thanks. So we got some changes to Step Your Game Up. That one's still the same, I just cleaned it up. That one's the same, I still cleaned it up. That one's a little bigger. Not quite done. I gotta fill in some of the rocks, but pretty much a launch ramp all the way to the top. Did change up a little bit at the top, as you saw, but it's still basically the same. So, I guess that's where we're gonna stop for a little bit. I'm gonna go take a break, and then probably go down and tackle some of that short course. I want to change it and make it a little bit longer, just in case I want to use it for a course for finals, because that's pretty much the whole reason I'm doing all the cleanup throughout the whole park, is so I can pick whatever hills I want. Alright, we're gonna come up here and fix my rock mess up there. I may put them in, or I may just leave them out. And I'm also going to tend to Main Mountain over here. I'm not sure if I'm going to run it, but I at least want to tend to that a little bit, because I ripped the stairs out because they were all rotting away. But yeah. Well, Main Mountain got a little bit of touch up, some fresh dirt, and then the changes actually happened kind of right here. I put some extra rocks in because it was starting to get dug out, and I have a feeling for finals we're probably going to have quite a few drivers. So also took away, well, I took away the staircase, the wooden staircase that was there a while ago, because it was falling apart and it had a bunch of nails sticking out of it, so I didn't want to rip up anybody's tires, including my own. So I took that out of there, kind of made the jump, and the rest, can't really see it, doesn't really show on camera that much, but up through here is pretty washed out, and you got some big rocks sticking out, so there's some pretty big nasty climb out the top. I'm gonna leave that alone, but you can see Step Your Game Up is, I don't know, it's actually pretty mellow. I probably could have made it steeper and crazier, but the more I dig into it, the more I hit big giant roots for that tree. So trying not to dig down too much because then I got to deal with a bunch of roots. But yeah, that's refreshed. That's pretty much the whole park refreshed. The only last change that we're going to do in this video is going to be down on the short course. We're going to make it a little bit longer. Alright, so right now this part of the river short course is very short because the river overflowed, came up way over the banks and washed out a big giant portion of it. It used to come down here and then go all the way along the river and then come out over there, but that part got washed away. So we're just down to this part right now, and we're gonna make it a little bit longer. So I'm gonna throw it in time lapse and cue the music, and let's go. Oh, here we go, guys. Short course is a little bit longer. Made it so it goes through here now. I don't know if you could see it on the end of the time lapse, but I lowered the river because it was all the way up to here. And I know Root or somebody is going to probably end up over there. So I kind of made an entranceway out of the river. That way you can continue back on the short course, but there you go. I know the sun is absolutely horrible, but oh wait, it's gonna work with me again, kind of. Well, at least you can see it a little better, but now it's all the way through here, which is pretty sweet, because I could connect it to this one if I wanted to. So it's funny, I came down here, and I imagine everybody that watches the videos, plus all the drivers, the tree is slowly going lower and lower. Eventually I'm gonna have to cut it. I need a new blade before I freaking do that, or a new chain I should say. So all the drivers and everybody that follows along usually knows that this is the point in the video where I go grab my bouncer, the timer, and I start picking out some hills. But it's finals, guys. I gotta leave some surprises. I know that a lot of the drivers have been paying pretty close attention to the race prep videos to get ideas of what's coming, but we're on home ground, guys. We're back at Hazardous RC Off-Road Park. You guys know the hills, kind of. Granted, a couple of them are new, but for the most part, you guys know the hills. So throughout the week, I'm gonna come up with some courses, and I imagine, probably not in this video because we're about to wrap up this video, but if you guys pay attention to the group like the drivers do, there's a link in the description. But I'll end up putting a video out on Facebook, or maybe I'll do a short so you guys can see it if you do have Facebook. But I'll probably do a video of telling which hills we're going to be running and what we're going to be using. I am not showing you guys what we're doing. I'm not running the courses. I'm going to do that all off camera, get a time limit and all that stuff. That way, come finals, all the courses / hills are all a surprise for you guys. I know you guys love that. All right, now that I made you watch all that stuff, and I'm not gonna go through the hills, I'm at least gonna do some rock bouncing. We got the park all cleaned up, and obviously I wanna try some of the, I definitely wanna try out the new short course because that looks pretty fun. And we'll try out some of the hills and get some rock bouncing footage for you guys. And we'll call it quits for this video. Alright, we got a freshly charged battery. We got Blue Dream down here. For those that watched all the race footage, you'll know that I struggled on the last 2 hills, and on the 4th hill, I actually snapped an axle shaft and my tire rolled away. And I also had a steering horn that was loose, and it ended up snapping the screw off in my servo. So this is actually the one from my fifth scale for the throttle. And yeah, that's my spare one, so that's in there. And ended up changing around a couple of the steering links. As you can see, it was hitting against my pumpkin, so put a different one on there. I think it's kind of straight. I guess we're gonna find out. Got it as straight as I could. I think that's pretty much all the changes that I've done, which isn't really all that much. Alright, you guys are sitting on the tripod. And from right here you can see most of the park. I'll zoom in with the magic of editing, and we're just going to run a couple of hills, and then I'll bring you guys up closer. For those that can't come here, this is actually kind of the easy part. This little hump right here, I know you can't see it on camera, but it's yeah, it tilts you up. We're gonna see if we can do that a little cleaner. The hill like shoots you that way, and it shoots you right in the root. Alright, let's try another one. I really like this one. So. Since you guys are already over here, I'm going to go on this side, try to stay out of the front. Come on. I had a good run going. Well, I think you can see it all from here. That's a lot more fun than it was before. At least it's a little longer. All right, now let's go get some slow-mo. Alright guys, that is going to do it for this one. I am leaving the rest of picking the hills and all of that stuff a surprise for the drivers. So, drivers, I will see you next weekend, and all the race fans, subscribe and you'll see some more rock bouncing very soon. Later, see you on the next one. Alright, a little tip for the drivers that watched all the way to the end. I'm going to be nice and give you a little bit of a hint of what's to come. So, I've been playing for quite a bit off camera, trying to come up with new ideas for new courses that we have not ran yet. And I have come up with 5 hills, or I should say 5 courses that pretty much involve every hill on the park except for Miner's Run, I think, or Miner's Revenge, I should say. But we're going to be using pretty much every other hill with all the courses that I came up with, and they are all completely brand new. We have never ran anything like this. Sorry about the sun. But yeah, that's what to expect. See you guys next weekend. Thanks for watching to the end.